Hey fantasy football fans, it's me, the Fantasy Football Girl, coming at you with another edition of Vlog Times. I hope you all had a wonderful and relaxing and victorious Thanksgiving weekend. I know I sure did. A lot went on in fantasy football, so let's jump right into a review of my start, sit, and extra from week 12. If you remember, my start was Mario Manningham, and my rationale was with Steve Smith and Hakeem Nicks both out. Manningham would be Eli Manning's most viable option on the outside. He had a pretty good game, 3 receptions for 61 yards, but he did score. He would have scored twice, except the touchdown was called back because of a holding penalty committed by Kevin Boss, so that kind of blew. Still, I even think this week, week 13, that the Giants will face a hapless Washington Redskins secondary. And even if Steve Smith returns from that pectoral injury, Manningham is still a good second wide receiver start for week 13. Moving on to my sit, it was Pierre Garçon. We all know that Pierre Garçon and I are in a giant fight. We're not speaking. He had, for the third time in a week, 5 receptions, 72 yards, which has not been as consistent, and 0 touchdowns. This guy has not found the end zone since week 6. I am angry. I am furious. I think Peyton Manning is as well, because you've watched the game tape. The mojo does not seem to be flowing. This dude is stone hands. He's a decent, fine, I'll admit it, a decent flex, especially in PPR leagues. But if you have a better option, go ahead and bench 85. Personal opinion, sticking to it. My extra, speaking of sticking to it, Emmanuel Sanders, the rookie receiver in Pittsburgh. Now, I actually believe in this kid. He had scored in week 12 and week 11. I'm sorry, he scored in week 11 and week 10, not in week 12. Two receptions for 27 yards. That was about it. He was targeted 5 times, but just didn't connect. He's playing like a rookie, you know? That's what he is. I still think with Hines Ward and Anton Randall L getting up in years and being super seasoned vets, this kid could be someone in the future. So if you're in a dynasty league or you just want to keep an eye on someone for future drafts, Emmanuel Sanders is someone to keep in mind. All right, so that was start, sit, and extra. Let's jump right into bust bombs and bonuses. My bust, oh, it was a good one. It was a giant bust, and I was so happy because I was playing against him. Vincent Jackson of the San Diego Chargers. Wow. So that highly anticipated and long-awaited return was for naught. After the first 2 plays of the game, he strained his calf, was out for the rest of the game, did not return, is questionable for week 13 against Oakland. I have to imagine that Turner is going to sit him because the Chargers should win this matchup, and why bother further aggravating both that calf injury and the entire Chargers organization if you don't have to? So wow, what a bust. But it did work out for some of us. And my bomb, as if Vincent Jackson were bad enough. I mean, he did get people 0s. Reggie Bush, on the other hand, got people negative fantasy points. Also, a really, really awful return, certainly not a comeback. He had 1 carry for 1 yard, 1 reception for 12 yards, 0 touchdowns. He fumbled a punt return and then dropped what could have very well been a touchdown pass. Yeah, he did not look right. Shaky, nervous. I definitely think you gotta let him ease into it, get his sea legs underneath him again. In the meantime, though, look for Lance Moore to certainly pick up the slack. You bombed, Reggie. Boom. My bonus, however, wow, I love football. I love the drama. It's just the best reality show on television, man. So my bonus, while everyone is talking about fantasy zombie Brian Westbrook and his performance on Monday night, I want to bring you all back to Thanksgiving Day, the Patriots-Lions game. Now, Tom Brady threw a perfect game. We've all heard that. It was Maurice Morris, however, who had jaws dropping, 9 carries for 55 yards, 5 receptions for 20 yards, and 2 touchdowns. No Kevin Smith and a turf-toed Javid Best leads a giant opening for Morris. Wow, wow, wow. Waiver wires and benches everywhere were blowing up. So he does have Aaron Brown to contend with, and that kid is fast. Still, if you're in a deeper league or you're one of those players who likes to stash away a bunch of potential sleepers as we move into the playoffs, Maurice Morris could be a sneaky play. Keep an eye on him. I don't think he's going to do this much week 13 against the Chicago Bears run D, but still, you never know what can happen in the future. There you go, bust bombs and bonuses for week 12. I'll be back with 1 for the money, 2 for the show, and 3 to let go, looking to week 13. If you have a chance tonight, tune into the Fantasy Football Mastermind podcast. I'll be on as a special guest. We air at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time live. It's only a half an hour show, and it's a lot of fun. All right, guys, have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.